something similar a couple years ago. Credit to Dewan and the staff and those players. That's not an easy thing to go through, and I spent some years in that Northeast Conference. They're going to be right there with the group that they put together with all those new guys. So credit to them for doing what they've been doing and dealing with what they've been dealing with. Second, I know I'll get asked about this, but Siegel Center is everything it was built up to be and more. I think the only thing we probably need is like pyrotechnics or something before the game. But other than that, I just sit on the radio like that VCU chant. You hear it. I've been on the other side hearing it, and it's different. Like I don't hear a lot in the stands, but when that got going, you can feel it. You can feel it in your bones. You can feel it in your blood, and it's pretty cool. So I'm really happy that our guys got to experience that and feel that. As far as the game, again, they came out, they made some shots early, they kind of get some confidence, but the beauty with us is we have a lot of weapons, we can come at you in waves, and sometimes it's just about sustaining. I think you saw that in the second half. Once we kind of got our legs and kind of got into their legs, really wore them down. You saw that with the three-point shooting and some of those possessions. So really proud of the effort. 16 offensive rebounds is great. 25 assists on 34 baskets is super awesome. It's where my eye goes usually first on the stat sheet. And to see that is really, really good basketball.
How close was that to what you were hoping to see out of a first game? Out of a group that you kind of had to assemble in the last 5 months?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of us sharing the ball, the way we shared the ball, I would have liked I hate saying our defensive effort because like we didn't play hard enough on defense, and we did. We just were a little sloppy with some of the defensive stuff. So I didn't like that. That will clean up. And they did a good job cleaning it up, especially away from the bench in the second half where, we can't communicate to them as well. So, I thought the overall effort, the overall contribution across the board is exactly what I would want to see going in.
Late in that first half, Brandon dove on the floor in the backcourt, forced a steal. Did that moment ignite you guys defensively a little bit in terms of the effort on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I think there were a handful of those plays, to be honest with you. That was definitely one, right? Like where you can start to feel it, you can start to see it, you can kind of see it on their face, on the Wagner's faces of like, all right, man, like leave us alone. It's like that. It's like you're just like, all right, get off of me, like leave me alone. Like it's what my 16-year-old does to my 13-year-old, right? She just keeps badgering her, and now she's like, just get away from me, like. So it's kind of that, right? Like you're in their chest every play, like, come on, man, like just give me one play where I can just get the ball off the floor. So, I definitely felt that moment, and there was a couple others, throughout there.
Coach, 32 fast break points. Guys took anything and made it a fast break, even a made basket. I mean, that was so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, again, we want to play with our pace, and again, it's not helter-skelter, just run and gun, just fly around and take crazy shots. But when there's opportunities up the floor, everybody talks about space, right? You hear space and pace. That's all anybody talks about in basketball. So when you get the ball, whether it's the ball goes through and you're inbounding the ball, or you get it on a stop, a steal or a rebound, all the space is down the other end of the floor. So we want to occupy that space as quickly as possible. And we got guys that can run. We got bigs that can run. We got wings that can run. And I think there was a few possessions we left out there where we didn't sprint hard enough that we hit up one sideline. If we're sprinting on that weak sideline, we're going to get that. And again, it's just continuing to train their minds and their bodies that, hey, go, because it's going to be up the floor, and it's probably going to be a reversal, and then what? Then we get whatever we want.
Coach, those 6 guys in double digits and clearing 100 as a team, how much did you work on sharing the ball, spreading the wealth a little bit?
Yeah, we've been spending a lot of time since Villanova. We've really hammered that. And everybody kind of goes through that early, especially with new guys. I talked to a coach of a top 10 team earlier in the week, and he talked about for 3 days, it's all they did. He's got a guy that might be the #1 draft pick. He's got a couple others that are first-round picks. I'm going like, you're dealing with that? you know, like at you know, a team of that level. So yeah, we've spent a lot of time. Again, you look out there and it's weapon, 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 weapon. So we don't have to force anything. We don't have to just try to create our own. We can create for each other. When we do that, you get those types of shooting numbers.
Lazar, 21 points, 7 of 10 from the floor, and just 19-22. I think CK said career high for him. Is that everything you envisioned in terms of what he can provide this team when you went out and got him?
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, he's a good weapon to have, right? He can step out, he can handle the ball, he can make threes, he scores around the rim. It was his night tonight, right? Like, it was his night tonight to kind of get going. It could be any of those guys' nights. And it's not a conscious effort of like, well, let's get this guy going, or let's get, it's just, what is the defense going to give us? And it was clear walking out there for the tip-off, like we had a major size advantage there, right? So you try to go inside early, try to get him a bucket early, get him a touch early. All right, he scores. Now you get, you know, other opportunities. Now they're really worried about that. That opens up, okay, drive and kick, you know, so then, you know, Bam gets a couple threes, or Terrence gets a couple threes off of that. Like, it's just being able to play well-rounded basketball. I thought we did that tonight.
With how the rotation kind of unfolded with the minutes and everything being doled out, is that something each game you'll do based on how the defense approaches you guys? Like kind of how you were mentioning with Lazar, you had the mismatch, so you approached that?
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll take what is given to us. I think we're built in a way that we can take advantage of anything. So, you know, it's really by committee, right? It's by committee. So yeah, a couple of these guys get going tonight, you know, and you know, Tyrell doesn't play, and he's a guy that you know went and got good numbers against Fairfield, and you know, so there's enough there. We just have to play it the right way. And again, it's a lot of times it's on the fly of in the possession. Like, what are they doing? What are they taking away? All right, they're denying us. All right, let's get a back cut. Let's look for that. Okay, if they take that away, we're getting a drive into a gap. Okay, they come and help, kick it. If they don't help, go finish it. You know, it can be a very simple game. You know, it's just played by complex human beings sometimes. But you know, we want to keep it as simple as possible. And you see those numbers like 3 assists, 6 assists, 5 assists, 2 assists, 5 assists, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like, that means you're playing good basketball.
Are you able to give any update on Tyrell? Do you hope to have him Friday?
Yeah, he turned his ankle last week, late in the week. You know, he was on the court today a little bit, so we'll see. I mean, I'm expecting that we'll have him Friday, but I'm also not the athletic trainer, so. You know. But we got the best in the business, so, you know. But it wasn't a very major sprain. It was just a minor.
Brandon Jennings has been someone you've emphasized as VCU. He had 15 points tonight, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, and had a plus-minus of 39. How much does he mean to this team as an all-around player?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you know, he's obviously was made his mark last year as a defensive kind of catalyst for them. You know, we've worked a lot with his skill level and getting him comfortable playing the way we want to play and doing the things we want to do. And you know, he's done that. You know, he did it on both ends tonight. Got us going, like Zach said, with you know, deflection on the pressure and diving on the floor, and you know, and then when you play the right way and worry about the right things, good things end up happening to you, right? The ball finds you in the right places. I thought that happened for him tonight.
Coach, what's more impressive to you and why? 103 points for the team, or just 10 turnovers?
The 10 turnovers. The 10 turnovers and 25 assists. That's, you know, whatever the points were. I don't really care, to be honest with you. You know, we got to score more than the opponent, so I care about that. But you know, it wasn't an objective to go score 103. I was hoping we'd score more than 44, like the last time Wagner was here. I was worried about that. But you know, the assists and the turnovers, you know, that means we're getting shots, right? We're getting good opportunities. And again, with enough weapons, I think if we get enough shots, you know, we should have a chance to score enough points most nights.
And after Fairfield, you talked a lot about rebounding. Today, out rebounding 44 to 37. What did you work on over the week, and then what was the difference today?
Yeah, I mean, just being more physical in the blockouts. And they got 14 offensive rebounds, which was too many. You know, but when you shoot 39%, there's going to be a lot of rebounds out there. But just being more physical on that, having more guys in there. We don't have to leak out, and I think we'll be able to show some clips tonight of like 5 guys in there to rebound, and then we're sprinting past them, right? So we don't need to leak out, where we can secure the ball and then go.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.